Well, the season has changed and y'all know what that means. It's time for a fresh top shelf. I have had the chance to work my way through so much awesome stuff over the last few months since the last time we filmed one of these. If you're unfamiliar with my top shelf series, it is my way of sharing what I'm actually using. Outside of any temporal context, it's the stuff that, like, when this room, because I have no object permanence, gets totally cluttered and messy and I have to clean everything up in one big fell swoop, the things that have that like tugging feeling where I'm like, if I put that away, I'm gonna pull it back out again because I love it so much. Or if I put that away, I'm really scared I'm gonna forget about it because I have no object permanence and I don't wanna forget that it exists because it's a really big part of my routine right now. And I was actually surprised this time at the things that tugged at me. Some of them are not surprising at all, but some of them are really surprising. And so I am super stoked to share them with y'all today because it's some good stuff. We've had some big wins this last couple of months, and we've also had some huge flops. I cannot wait till the end of the year roundups. I'm gonna get to like really cut loose and be like, this sucked. Anyway, let's talk about something that doesn't suck. I want to talk to y'all real quick about today's sponsor before we jump in. This portion of today's video is sponsored by my good friends over at Osea. Yes, y'all, I have been working with and loving and honestly buying Osea products for so long in my own personal life. You're going to see brand new versions of these things, but I have like, you know, manky worked through ones that you're gonna see in my empties pretty soon as well, because these are products that are part of my routine all the time. If you've been here any amount of time, you already know this. So, Osea is female founded and family operated since 1996. They are a clean, vegan, ocean positive, cruelty free, climate neutral, seaweed based skin and body care company. I'm gonna be talking to y'all about some of the beautiful holiday sets, and Osea wants to invite you to get a head start on your holiday shopping, and you can use my code Kackie Holiday to get an additional 10% off of the already discounted bundle prices on site for a limited time. Let me show y'all these two sets because I think they're pretty exciting. These are limited edition. This is the Best Sellers mini collection. You get the Ocean Cleanser, the Hyaluronic Sea Serum, the Atmosphere Protection Cream, the Undaria Algae Body Oil, the Anti-Aging Body Balm, and the Scrub. This is the Salts of the Earth body scrub. Like I said, this is all naturally sourced, and this is just a really great way to get to try a ton of their products or to gift a ton of their products, and they're so luxurious. So I love both of these sets because they both contain my very favorite product, and that is the Undaria Algae Body Oil. I can't live without this stuff. I buy the big boys of it. It has this really lovely kind of like citrus scent to it that's very natural smelling, very authentic smelling. And when it goes on the skin, it actually soaks in, but has one of my favorite qualities to it, which is a beautiful cosmetic glow on the skin as well. So it's nourishing and it's beautiful to look at. So if you are interested in this set, it is $110 value for $78. And again, you can get 10% off with my code. And then we have the Super Glow Body Set. Like I said, this also has my favorite product in it, but also they have the new Undaria Algae Body Wash. Besides being an incredibly luxurious body wash that's for everybody. It's great for maintaining your moisture barrier. It's great for winter time and things like that. It also happens to have one of the most delightful and refreshing scents I've ever smelled in anything. I'm such a citrus junkie, and it is, oh my gosh, it is like this punch of citrus. It's awesome. It's so good. Like this, and then this, if you're a citrus person, this is taking you to Amalfi. You know what I mean? Like that's how it feels. It feels so authentic, like this beautiful like lemon, and this one is more kind of orange. And finally, it includes the Hyaluronic Body Serum. It's clinically proven to improve the skin's hydration by 161%. So I feel like it's not every brand that handles hyaluronic acid properly, but Osea really knows how to. And this set is also a bananas value. It's $106 value for $76. This is something that really feels heartfelt when you do give a gift like this because it's something that someone interacts with every day. And I promise you, these are the kinds of products that become a mainstay in your routine because they are so high quality, they are so nourishing, and they're such a pleasure to use. So once again, before you leave today's video, definitely check out Osea, check out their limited edition holiday sets. These are a great gift for yourself or for your loved ones. I hope that you enjoy them as much as I do, and thank you to Osea for sponsoring a portion of today's video. So let's go ahead and jump into the rest of my top shelf. If any of y'all has been paying attention recently, you know that this has become, I think, the product I evangelize about the most at this point. Like, anyone I can find who says that they have some problem with their skin, with any kind of inflammation on their skin, I'm like, you need the Ultra Repair Cream. This stuff is not new. It's been around for ages. They just happened to send me a new PR box a few months ago, and I happened to use it on my face as a total accident, and it cleared my perioral dermatitis, like in like 2 nights. I was like, whoa. And the only other thing that I had ever experienced those kinds of results from was the prequel lotion that has been recalled. Something happened with it, so you can't get it right now, but this has even better results with like better skincare benefits, I feel like, on my face for me. And the thing that they both have in common is colloidal oatmeal. So the colloidal oatmeal is the active ingredient that, for whatever reason, I do not question it, it has cleared my perioral dermatitis. So I am back to being able to use actives. I'm back to being able to like try new skincare lines and stuff. I just put this on before I do anything else, before I put on my sunscreen, before I put on any of my actives, anything. I treat this like medicine. This stuff has been a savior. I turned my sister onto it. I have more of it waiting in backup downstairs. I'm just so grateful that this sort of fell into my lap by accident, and I will never let her go. Because like, to not have perioral dermatitis when it was just such a huge issue for me for so long is such a gift. So I talked about having a couple of new actives. I've been using a lot of different stuff. I love my Allies of Skin. I've been using RHODE. I've been trying a bunch of new stuff that's being sent to me, but I spent the big bucks a while back on a bottle of this, and by God, I'm gonna use it. This is the SKINCEUTICALS Silymarin CF Salicylic Acid Acne Treatment, and it is a really amazing, not just acne treatment, but also a really great active that makes your skin like freaking glow. It's actually like brightening my skin. And then this is the Phloretin CF Broad Range Antioxidant Treatment. They sent this to me a while back. It's probably expired. Am I gonna waste SKINCEUTICALS? Nor I am not. So I have been kind of making a little mixed in the palm of my hand of these two and using them just at night. And oh, the brightness of my skin when I wake up. I'm gonna show y'all the sunscreen routine that I've been using right before we jump into like the actual makeup. And the combo of all of it is just so cosmetically beautiful that my skin looks so great before I even start putting makeup on. And I've been getting compliments from y'all on my videos recently too. People saying, this video, you're not wearing any makeup, you look fantastic. And I'm like, thank you. It's not just the brightening, but also the beautiful textures of moisturizers and things like that that I have found to make my skin look really like, you know, glowy and healthy even as the seasons are changing. So there's that. I am using, you know, some of my normal moisturizers, but as far as like anything that's gonna make my skin like glow at night, it's the RHODE, the moisturizer and the milk. I'll start with my new deodorant. So I've been using the KOSAS deodorant for ages. I love an AHA deodorant. That's what works for me because the alpha hydroxy acids, my friend Ludo told me this when he worked at Sephora. I was like, I don't know how it works. And he was like, it's the alpha hydroxy acids. They actually kill the bacteria on your skin. And so that makes you not smell instead of trying to cover it up or use an antiperspirant or whatever. So this new one from Fleur has, I mean, I don't think that it's new that they have a deodorant. This is just the new fragrance, Vanilla Skin. Oh, it's paint. I was like, how did I bruise that? That's paint. It also functions off of AHAs, and so it really works. And it also has this beautiful texture to it where, like, I don't know, your underarms have texture to them and it like blurs, not that anybody's looking at that, but it like blurs the texture underneath your arms when you put it on. It's kind of nice. So anyway, this is the fragrance that I think I have probably, besides Father Figure, although I don't know, nah, I would wear a deodorant that was Father Figure scented. Yes, I would. Father Figure is probably my number one, like most worn. And then more recently, Vanilla Skin is just the base note for everything. So it makes sense to put it into deodorant because then I can wear other fragrances with it. And I feel like they always mix together really well. Vanilla Skin, the notes are pink pepper, which I usually never go for. I don't really smell the pink pepper in this. Oh, when you're smelling for it, yes. Oh my gosh. Huh. Yeah, but they handle it so well. It's right at the end. Okay, cool. Pink apple and sugar crystals. Heart is lily, jasmine petals, and cashmere wood. And base is benzoin, vanilla, sandalwood, and agarwood. I get mostly just a rich woody vanilla from it, but when I went for the, like, they mention it, yes, power of suggestion. Either way, so lovely. They sent this to me. I'm so happy that they sent this to me. It is so beautiful, and I'm happy to report that it works. If anybody followed me years, I mean, it was years ago, it was like 2019, I went on a journey for a while to find a natural deodorant that worked, and I tried everything, and anytime it said like arrowroot and cornstarch as the active ingredients, I was like, no, it can have those things in it, but I also need it to have like AHAs in it in order to work. And mandelic acid was kind of the first one, but anything with those in there seems to work well for me. And I have found that the Saltaire ones irritate my underarms a little bit more. I use an epilator underneath my arms. I find it really satisfying. If I can, like, without major consequence, rip the hair out of my body instead of shaving the hair off my body, I'm gonna do it. And under my arms, that is where I use the epilator. It is an unpleasant experience, but it lasts a really long time. And the Saltaire ones, as lovely as they are, I cannot use them right after I do that because it will like light my underarms up, and this doesn't, so. I think that it's lovely. So the fragrances that I've been layering on top of that, it just pleases me so much. Fragrance is one of those things for me. It's like fashion. I can never have too much. You know what I mean? I'm just like fashion, you know what I mean? It all just tantalizes me. I love looking at it. So I recently got the new Fern fragrance. This is my second Fern fragrance. I did not like the summer one, and so I traded it in for the spring one. I like the spring one, but it doesn't last. This is the fall one, and I hated it at first. I was texting my friend Rebecca. I was like, this is the worst thing that I have ever smelled, and I cannot believe what a 180 I did when I went from smelling it on paper to smelling it on my skin. Because it was like when I read the notes and then I smelled it on the paper, it was so literal. I was like, oh my God, it's just like this nose full of herbs and like cognac. I was like, ugh. And I was like, there's so much like nutmeg. I don't want to smell like a, you know, like a pumpkin spice bourbon. Like you put it on your skin and it just, at least for me, turns into this like leather smell. It's like cold weather leather smell, and it's delicious. It's ridiculous, especially when I'm wearing like, you know, a little bit of the vanilla and everything. It just adds to it. The notes are on the inside of the box that I threw away, but I will put them on the screen because there's a lot of them, and it's all organic. It's all organically derived, and it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I think Fern is a really cool thing. And this bottle, I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say that something about the elegance of this bottle made me want to like remodel my house. It's like, if I'm gonna have this here, everything else needs to come up to meet this bottle. And I don't know why. Of all my perfume bottles, like this and the spring one are the ones that were like so simple and elegant, where I was just like, it's time. Can't have shoes on the floor anymore. This perfume lives in my house now. Is anyone else like that? My boyfriend says that he's had the same thing happen to him. Like, he'll get something and he's like, oh no, the house is not good enough for this thing that I got. Now I have to make it all better. But like, that's the only other person I've ever heard talk about that phenomenon. I think there are just some of us who are just like, beauty captivates us on some kind of like too deep of a level. It like attaches somewhere it's not supposed to in our brains. I don't know. So the next one, speaking of boyf, he bought me this for our anniversary, and he bought himself one too. So we're twins because we're insufferable. This is the jasmine scent from Le Labo. And it is bananas. Oh my God. It really smells like, I mean, if you've ever just stuck your face in a vine of jasmine. I didn't want to say bush. They do kind of grow in a bush, but in the spring, it's so literal. It smells so much like a face full of jasmines. And when you spray it, if you ever are in like mixed company, someone will turn around and go, oh, what was that? Who just sprayed something? That is amazing. What is that? Like, it is incredible. It's also so different and unexpected for a man to wear this. Very, very sexy and lovely. It's delicious. It's wonderful. And my most recent, I will just say this, obsession, Lake and Sky Santal Gray. I've had 1111 for a long time, and like, it's good, but it's not my everyday. This is like an everyday Santal. Oh my God. Oh my God. It reminds me a lot of the Maison Louis Marie in a number 4, Bois de Valancourt. which I have, you know, destroyed. It reminds me a lot of that, which my boyfriend also wears. I bought him a new one for his birthday. It's truly just the most beautiful, like low-key Santal scent. It might have a little bit of like tea in it or something. It's just really balanced and chill. It feels like you're smelling minimalism. This is why I don't have a fragrance channel, is because people are out here being like, smells like cashmere wood, I'm smelling some like gardenia absolute or something, you know what I mean? Like amber something, and I'm just like, this smells like minimalism. It's what it smells like. It smells like minimalism. It's delightful. If you like sandalwood, this is so excellent. And it's not like Santal from Le Labo. I love doing these kinds of videos. It's like my show and tell time. I'm like, my Pokemans, let me show you them. I love these. I also got my boyfriend some of these and we do them together, which is just, again, inseparable. These are the Dermatology Brightening Eye Masks. They sent me the first one and I just keep buying them for people. I bought these for myself and you can see I'm steadily working through them. I keep them in the fridge. They're the only ones I've found that actually really like flatten out my under eye in a beautiful way, and they stay put for the most part. I mean, if you get a particularly soggy one, it might take a minute, but like they really, like the skincare soaks in and they stay and you can actually go function with them on. Just a nice little multitasking thing. And especially when I wake up, I looked like hot death this morning, okay? I decided to try a new eye cream last night and it must have been one that was supposed to like shrink your under eyes, and I need hydration. I woke up looking like the Crypt Keeper, so this saved me today, but I adore them. And there's like a gazillion of them in here. Yeah, there's 30 pairs. And spatula. Finally, we can talk about my sunscreen duo. We have the Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel SPF 50 from ISNTREE. This has 8 different kinds of hyaluronic acid, replenishes moisture, and no white cast. Ingrid uses this too, and Ingrid does not have dry skin. She has like combo oily skin, and she loves this also. So it soaks in, but it leaves this gorgeous cosmetic glow on your skin, but in a way that's not like permanently slippy. It just looks nice. It's kind of like the RHODE milk in that sense. And this is a chemical sunscreen, and then this is a mineral sunscreen that I let that all the way, well, I do several layers of both, okay? It's like kind of a process, you know? I do like, I pump, and then I rub it as far as it'll go, and then I pump, and then I rub it as far as it'll go. You know what I mean? It's like a pump for each third of my face, and then, you know, 2 pumps for my neck, and then I go back in over my cheeks and over my like dark areas and stuff like that. I let it cook, and then I still go in on my face, not on my neck, because I don't want this to get on my clothes. It has a slight tint to it. But this is the INNBEAUTY Project Mineral Sun Glow Broad Spectrum SPF 43, and this is a zinc oxide, 14.28%. I have the fair medium. They also have a medium deep, and it's freaking exquisite. It also has that beautiful glow that it leaves behind on the skin, not a like shimmery glow, like a truly like hydrated hyaluronic acid that's been done properly kind of glow. I don't know if it actually has that in it, but regardless, like it makes your skin look fabulous. It makes your skin feel fabulous. And the tint, you can see the tint is like barely there. I think Hindash wears the same shade that I do, you know? I don't think he went for the deep one because it's just so light. It's just more about like, I don't know, what color it sort of reflects or something. I could see it almost being too dark for someone, but it's not gonna be too light for you. If you're medium skin tone, I think you're gonna have options there. But it is a really, really sheer amount of any kind of pigment, but I put a lot on, and it's beautifully blurring. So blurring that like, I don't have to wear foundation, you know? And I'm not that I have to wear foundation, but like, I leave the house in this, you can't really tell I'm wearing makeup, but it also blurs my imperfections. It's kind of what a tinted sunscreen was always supposed to be, but most tinted sunscreens are just kind of like clumsy. I just feel like they don't do what they're supposed to do. They're too makeup-y, or they're too dry, or they're too something. You know, they've taken the excuse that there's gonna be zinc oxide in there and been like, well, just make it powder, just make powder suspended in sunscreen. You know, it's like, no. So these are both exquisite formulas that I would recommend to just about anybody. I will say though, I did acquire my 2 backups of the ISNTREE recently. one from Natalie, whose skin is drier than mine, and one from Steph, whose skin is oilier than mine, and they both say that it is too glowy. So like, it's a preference thing. I just happen to really like the glow and my skin needs it. Primers and finishing sprays, I'll just do them both at the same time. I have been loving, as you can tell, the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. Again, any layer of cosmetic hydration, like where you can really tell, you can look at my face and it looks like she drank water kind of thing. Those are the things that I'm after. I loved the Ciate one that has vitamin C in it. There have been a couple more, but like anything that has that effect, the same thing as the RHODE Skin Milk, that's the effect that I want from everything. It's like Sunday Riley, that's the one I was trying to remember. Sunday Riley, I've been using some of their skincare too, but they also, everything has that glow to it. That's what I want. I want the glow. I don't know what ingredient does it, but I think it might be some kind of, you know, encapsulated hyaluronic acid that's actually been done properly. But yeah, this is really lovely. I've been enjoying the Patrick Ta foundation, but like I find that it's a little much. It's just a little much. And this is like exactly what I want to combine with other things. It's like the right amount of that like slippy glow, especially on top of all the sunscreen and skincare that I wear. And then I've been really into this. I forgot how good the Urban Decay All Nighter is for extending the wear of your makeup. The MAC is really lovely. I love MAC Fix Plus and Fix Plus Magic Radiance. I don't really have a whole lot of problems with longevity, but I feel like this locks it in even more so than I expect it to, and this is the Extra Glow one. They also sent me the watermelon scented one, and like, I don't know, you can kind of miss me on that. It's so strong. It's like kind of like a fragrance decision, and on top of everything else that I'm wearing, I don't need artificial watermelon. But this is so funny. Why does it have two caps? I think that's so hilarious. It really just has kind of like a light, pleasant smell. It is a spray that is by Skindinavia, so I think you can get the same one from Skindinavia. I've tried theirs before and it was just as good, but they sent this to me. It's really worked into heavy rotation just because it looks so darn nice. The first one will not surprise you at all, and I'm gonna talk about the first two sort of rapid fire here because I applied one to one side of my face and one to the other so that I could see what the differences were. So we started on one side with the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint. I wear the shade 2. Y'all, this is the best skin tint I've ever used. I can't explain it. It's so pretty. It's like truly if you took the KOSAS tinted oil and all the hopes that you had for it and made them manifest in an actual high performance skin tint. It's the most beautiful thing on the skin. Not a ton of coverage, but also feather light. I mean weightless on the skin and just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. It's so pretty. Like I can't, and it wears, y'all, you'll look in the mirror 12 hours later and you'll be like, that's still there. That's a skin tint and that is still there. I do not understand this stuff, but it is worth every penny. I will never be without it again in my life. On the other side, I went in with my new kind of friend here that I'm liking, but obviously I don't have as close of a relationship with yet, and that is the VIEVE Skin Nova Complexion Balm. I ordered more things from VIEVE. I think I'm going to have a video coming up that's called I Ordered More Things from VIEVE, and I hope y'all watch it because I not only found the quality and the performance of her products so exciting, but I also found your reaction so exciting because y'all were rooting for her so much in my comments and y'all were so pleased that I loved it and I was so pleased that I loved it. I hate to disappoint people like that. Like, God, when I tried Violette stuff, people were like ready to, I think, you know, push my door down. But either way, I was so happy that they were so good and that I loved them so much that I literally went and just bought more stuff because I want to know what all of her makeup performs like. It's so good. And so the difference between these two is that obviously this one's a lighter shade. I think that I may have gone a little too light with this, but it's fine because it's so sheer. But it does have, and you can actually see right now, it has more coverage than the Lisa Eldridge because it's on this side and you can see that like my freckles are a little more obscured and stuff. And that's not like good or bad. It's just sort of how, you know, how you want to do it that day. But I have no problem with either of them in their coverage levels. But I will say this is designed to be weightless on the skin, and this I feel like is designed to feel like nourishing skincare on the skin, and they both accomplish what they set out to do, because this is very much based on her Skin Nova primer, and the primer is also it's very cosmetically elegant, but it is also quite skincare like. The only thing that I have to mention is that this has a fragrance to it. This does not. And I mean, they're not necessarily like, they don't beg the hugest comparison. They just happen to be two things that I've been really liking lately. And I do love both of them. They just kind of perform different jobs. If I had to pick between them, I would still choose Lisa Eldridge, just because I will never be without it in my life. Okay, so apologies to the Queen Mary. I have a lot more concealers than I do foundations. Okay, the main four that I always go for. JOUER has the most coverage and is the most matte, but it's still not matte. It still has like a nice satin finish. KOSAS has about the same amount of coverage, slightly less, and is almost just as matte. Pretty similar though. Like pretty similar, just a little lighter weight, a little milkier. Then we have the Tower 28, which is thinner and lighter weight on the skin, less hydrating, but has a beautiful amount of pigment to it, and it dries down on its own and you don't need to powder it. And then the Prisme Libre from Givenchy is like incredibly hydrating and beautiful, and you can wear it, you know, all over your face as a foundation if you want to. It's awesome. It's awesome, awesome. And I would say it has like medium to full coverage. There, zoomed through those. Now let's talk about the three kind of new girls here. So I do love the Westman Atelier concealer. I do. I think she's beautiful. I can kind of feel the skincare benefits. It's just lovely. It's just really lovely, especially on bare skin. To have something that has like this much coverage, but really blurs into the skin and blends in. This is the shade Atelier 1 right here, and I think I can wear both Atelier 1 and Atelier 2. It's a really sophisticated high-tech formula. I think it is the most high-tech formula that she's come out with in a complexion product so far. The stick is beautiful, but it is limited by the fact that it's a stick. The drippy oil drop things are, some people like them. I'm not a big fan because they're so squalene based. My skin just like goes, huh? And like shrugs them off, like they don't soak in. And so they're limited by that. And I feel like this is a concealer that dries down on its own, does not need to be powdered. I've heard great things from a lot of people in my comments, which goes a long way for me. I understand that everybody really likes the CeraCryl. I know. I know. And this is, again, it's another case of the Gucci where I'm like, this is a good concealer. Hear me loud and clear. This is a good concealer. I don't think it should be as expensive as it is. That's all. And this is expensive, but I feel like it's like still Westman Atelier, the quality that I expect from them. And you'll notice Victoria Beckham is conspicuously absent because that was just a kind of a disappointment across the board. The one that I would compare to the CeraCryl, and I'll wait. Oh, y'all. If you're ever like, God, why doesn't Kackie get like a boom mic so that, you know, the audio is better or whatever? First of all, I have no idea what I'm doing. Second of all, I tried to. Out of frame right now is a boom mic, okay? I set up a boom mic stand and put in the microphone, and when I plugged it into the mixer, something started to smell like smoke. And I looked, and something started to look like smoke, and I was like, okay, we're gonna function on the regular microphone. I am out of my depth. We're just gonna go with regular audio today. So anyway, I had high hopes, and those hopes were dashed. But at least nobody's jackhammering the street right now. I am not going to claim that this is exactly like the CeraCryl in terms of honestly, the way that everybody said that it worked so well on their aging under eyes. And I did match myself in store, and somehow, and y'all, the lights, we talked about the lights in Sephora. I did end up with something that's quite pink. So it really is probably very similar to the CeraCryl. I do think that I got the wrong shade again. But it actually is really beautiful in the sense that like it kind of works as a brightener, but they did come out with an even lighter shade than this, and I think I might go for that. It's not that expensive, so I'm not that worried about it. But this is the Coolfee concealer, and I got Bad Badam, and it is that same kind of really hydrating, beautiful, kind of emollient feeling concealer that just nourishes the under eyes, and I really like it. But yeah, I do feel like a dadgummit. I was like, this works great. And honestly, when it gets on my under eyes, it might be, you know, as much of a color corrector as the CeraCryl is. So it is just as functional, but as a foundation, it would be far too pink. But the formula is gorgeous, and they did expand the shade range. And finally, I got to try so many different shades. I got to go to a masterclass with CL last week, and I took Ingrid as my +1, and Sierra was there, and we had so much fun. And I got to meet Alex finally on the CL team, and I got to meet Nikki, and they are just also incredible and lovely, and like just like super down to earth, cool people, no pretense, like just so cool. So easy to be around, such fun people. And she did this masterclass with all of her products and everything, and it was lovely. We got to hear her story. It was great. It was a beautiful day. So I ended up being able to take home a couple more shades in the concealer than they originally sent me in the PR package that I got. And actually, I ended up landing on the deepest shade that they initially sent me, and that is 4N. And where I use this is on the spots that the sun hits, because this is an SPF 50. Okay, on top of all the other SPF that I'm wearing, this is an SPF 50. And I will just dibby dab that on these spots that like the sun loves to just pigment, and under my nose, on my lip, you know what I mean? Like just anything. I just feel like I'm literally building a little shield. I'm just like, you try and get through that, sun, jerk, through my car window. So yeah, this is the Conceal and Protect, and it's an extremely elegant concealer formula, and it has SPF 50 in it. It's really good. Really good. I love her other complexion product too. It doesn't go all year with me, but this I think will. Like, I just find it to be the perfect amount of hydration, and it cooperates with everything really well. Look, I mean, it's like just blended right into everything else, but to be able to have that confidence of like taking those spots that you know are just so prone to getting that pigmentation, especially after you get a peel or something and you're just sunscreening as the day is long. There's just something really lovely about knowing that I'm like putting an extra layer right there. Okay, that was like more painless than I expected it to be. I'm still using the things that y'all see me use. I'm still using, like, you know, my Charlotte Tilbury all the time, like as my contour and stuff like that. But as far as things that have made it into heavy rotation that you might not be as familiar with, this has really risen to the top. The Dior Forever Skin Contour Stick, they have this in a ton of shades. I have the shade 01 Light, and it is fragranced, but it's a contour. I don't know, I don't care. And it's so packed with pigment. What an awesome color too. But it's so packed with pigment in a good way, not in a like milk makeup stick way where it's like you get it on the skin and you're like, okay, that's a dirt stripe and it's never going anywhere. This blurs and blurs and blurs and blurs. Like, you can blend it forever until you get like the most sheer swatch ever if you want to. You can always manage to apply little enough, but I've had it for ages and I'm using it every day, and look how much I've used. That is hilarious. This thing's gonna last me the rest of my life. For like Dior prices, are you kidding me? That's insane. Like, there's probably so much contour in here. Yeah, there's a ton. I'm like, I made no dent in it whatsoever. So it's actually, I don't know how much it costs. I did buy it, but I don't remember. It's kind of cost effective. I think it was like 50 bucks, you know, on par with Westman Atelier. Someone commented that this was the best bronzer shade they had seen on me on my channel, basically. And this is the VIEVE Cream Bronzer in Light. If this is what the Chanel cream bronzer used to be like, I understand why y'all are so mad. I never got to try the original formula, and so when I tried the new one, I was like, it's not great, but like I also can't miss what I never had kind of thing. But I get the feeling that she made this because this is what it was supposed to be like and they ruined it, and it's so excellent. It's not as slippy as like the Sun Melt from Say, and it's not as stiff as the NARS one, and it doesn't have the same fragrance, that coconutty fragrance. It does have a fragrance. This one's really faint though. I might be a little bit nose blind at the moment because I'd be smelling a bunch of stuff, but it does have a slight fragrance, but it applies itself. It's so good, and there are several shades in it. It's very excellent. As a cream bronzer goes, especially as I'm moving from like the Makeup by Mario for spring and summer into something that's just like a little bit more committed, right? This is a little bit more committed. It has a little bit more pigment to it, and it's so beautiful and effective, and I love the color. Like I said, I have just been extremely impressed with VIEVE. Extremely impressed. I do like the concealer too. If you saw in my last video, I did buy it in quite a light shade. Quite a light shade. I will eventually get my correct shade in it at some point. And then the other two, to the tune of good God, who knows, between the two of them. I believe that this one is like $68 or something, but it's a huge amount of product. This is the Luminous Silk Bronzing Powder in 90 from Armani. I don't know why they make their shades so unclear. Like, is it 90 or is it like 95 or, you know what I mean? Like, just call it what it is. Light, medium, like how many shades are you planning on doing? Why is it 90? Anyway, this is 90 and it has a little tiny bit of green in it. Similar to the VIEVE, actually. I feel like the VIEVE, that of course, as soon as I got done with it, threw it across the room. Although it's got more yellow gold in it than the VIEVE, but they both have a little bit of like a green in them. This one obviously much lighter and less saturated, but I can use both. And this looks really skin native on me and this looks really like rich, you know, and kind of comes off even a little bit red on my skin. It's just freaking gorgeous. And every time I use it, I am surprised anew at how lovely it is. It's really beautiful. And I've never noticed the shimmer. There's, you know, little, I think it might be a spray over, I'm not sure, but like I have never once noticed the shimmer on my skin. And then Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Okay, this was $105, something bananas like that. This is the Hermes Plein Air, and these are things I bought with my own money, all of these things. All like that we've been talking about right now, all the bronzers and stuff. And like, I will buy it again. And granted, now I don't have to buy the component again. You just replace the pan. But another definitely fragrance product, Wowie. Oh my God. They don't even call it a bronzer. They call it a powder. They just call it a mineral powder, Healthy Glow mineral powder. And that's kind of what it is. It's like this weird, such a light bronzer. That's it right there. It's such like a subtle color of bronzer that you can use it like on bare skin practically. It's hard to explain. It just makes you look really healthy. Hence the Healthy Glow. Like it really makes the skin look super healthy. Oh, and I also, you know, forever and always the Victoria Beckham bronzing brick under my eyes. Let us bridge the gap here between bronzer and contour and blush by showing you the bronzer contour blush thing that I love, as you can tell by looking at it, especially when I'm traveling. I don't wear much makeup at all when I travel, but when I do travel, like I'm gonna, you know, put something cute and subtle on or whatever, this is so easy. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette, and it is everything that I want. It's got complexion product should I need it, you know, coverage. It's got like a million different other sort of colors there that I could use anywhere from skin tone to bronzer. A fantastic contour. And then these colors are great. I mean, these two are highlighters, but the kind of like cool versus warm, rich versus desaturated kind of thing here, where you end up with like this bright pink, a coral, and you can tell these are the two that I use the most, is this like desaturated mauve and this ridiculous rust color. I'm telling you, I've been all over Sephora swatching for things like this, and the only other cheek product I have found isn't a cheek product. It is a NARS lipstick. So this is a really rare color right here. I mean, I'm probably, if I hunted around in other things that I had, you know, there might be some like indie brands and stuff that have this color as a blush, but this rusty color of blush is so rare and it looks good on so many people. So many people. I'm keeping that swatch because the next thing that I want to show you is Focused, because I have a feeling they're pretty similar. No, they're not that similar. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so there. Ooh, that's actually a really good comparison. So right there is Focused from LYS, which I think is like the perfect sunburn blush on me. It's so beautiful. But you can see it's got a lot more mauve in it compared to this, and that's why it matches my lips really beautifully. Whereas that brown, I do need to kind of like work up to it with some stuff because it's not as naturally occurring in my skin, but it is incredibly flexible. So this is one of the best buys I would ever recommend at Sephora. 20 bucks. And this is this formula that it looks like a shimmery blush, yes, but what it really does is when it gets on the skin, that shimmer, it just turns into this really incredible, super flattering blur that does not look like highlighter. It doesn't look like, you know, liquid eyeshadow or something like that. It just comes off, I mean, you wouldn't wear it that thick anyway, but it comes off as this incredible, like healthy skin. It makes you look at your cheeks and go, wow, you know what I mean? Look at her cheeks. Her cheeks look so nice. And the color is impossible to put your finger on. It's like they just took every color and they just put it all in one and they were like, there you go. It's a chameleon, and that's why it was sold out forever, is because Focused is such an incredible color. I thought that I was gonna get all the Hourglass palettes in the mail, and I may yet. Sometimes they send PR months late, and that's fine. I will not be buying them, not because I don't think that they're worth it, but because I know that they're worth it. And I still have one from, I still have maybe 2 from last year. Either way, this is the one that I use. And it is the leopard one, and I use the daylights out of it. It's what I used in my last video when I wasn't telling you any of the makeup that I was putting on my face, but like it just performs like nothing else. Well, maybe like one other thing, but it is the original, incredibly kind to all skin, maturing, young, and otherwise blush formula. There's a reason that these are so expensive. There's a reason that these are so coveted, and it's because it makes your cheeks look like that. And I also happen to highly recommend the new RHODE blushes from Allie Glines because they are also incredible, and they're not as slow building, like they have more pigment to them than the Hourglass, but they do have the same baked texture that when they go on, they do that blurred thing that's just so intoxicating as you're putting it on, and I'm all about that. It's just like the skincare that I want to have that glow to it, that cosmetic glow to it, not just the nourishment. I want my blushes and my bronzers and everything, mainly my blushes, to have that like minerality that's just going on in a way that's making my skin look just slightly better than real life, you know? And she did such an amazing job with these. I cannot wait to see what she does next. Her products so far have been exquisite. And out of all of the Chanel blushes that I have acquired lately, this is the one that's made it into rotation, and you can probably see why. It's because these colors are native to my skin. I'm only wearing like basically a clear lip gloss right now, and that color right there exists in my lips so much, and like that highlight looks so at home on my skin because at the end of the day, I've got like kind of translucent skin. And so the parts of me that do end up showing colors that aren't like, you know, just a normal neutral skin tone tend to be this sort of mauve, pinky lavender color. And so this is how I can save any look that's kind of deviating too far from looking like it belongs on my face. Is I just toss a little bit of this on top and it brings it back on the rails. And this is the Chanel Light and Berry, the Jardin Imaginaire. Didn't even bother. I'm not even gonna bother with trying to say it with a French accent. So it is the fall release, I think. And then I did buy 2 more of the blushes recently. I got one of their cream blushes, and then I got 3 because I got both of the Tarot ones. And they just haven't made it into circulation either yet or at all, mainly because the colors are just a little bit too polar for me. I think their fall blushes always just kill it. Last year, they were bananas off the wall, ridiculous. So if you still have that one, the mauve from last year, you're probably good, but this is pinker. It's just more blurring, but it's definitely pinker. And then, I mean, RMS 2.0 has really got me right now. They can't do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. And oh, that's right. Ooh, I get the lip oils in the mail today. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I got to pick out 3. I'm so excited to show this to you. I'm excited to try them. But I finally collected them all. Of the Redimension Hydra Powder blushes, and again, these look like they're going to be straight up highlighters, but they are not. They are this beautiful kind of, you know, blurring. And you can tell I'm really into this like weird in-between shade. This is Sangria. I like this weird in-betweeny, reddy, pinky, rusty thing. And it's just like a healthy look on the cheeks, and you can't really put your finger on it. So that's what I've been into lately. And the thing that I carry around in my purse, actually I'll grab both of them. These are the 2 things that I carry around in my purse. We will talk lips in a second, but I don't use these on my lips. I use these as blushes. So this is a Dries Van Noten lipstick that my sister gave me when I was at her house, and she said that she just didn't use this shade. I don't know what color this is. It is Sheer 05, whatever that means. And this is in, you know, replaceable packaging. It's this color, and I will be in the car. Like I said, you know, I'm not big on like wearing makeup on like the weekends and stuff like that. I'll be just like on my way somewhere. Again, we're talking about that weird color, right? That weird in-betweeny, what the heck is it? Like deep, rosy, rusty, mauvey, it's everything all at once kind of color. And that's what this lipstick color is, but I will put it all over my cheeks. And then I'll put a little tiny bit on my lips, and I look, I don't know, like I just kind of like woke up in a field of daisies or something. I don't know. It's great. It's great. Oh, I'll keep that swatch because I want to show you it against the other one that I bought expressly for this purpose. I did not buy this to be a lipstick. I bought this to be a blush, and it is one of the new NARS explicit lipsticks, and this is an Envy. This is like my other like alter ego, right? So there's like my little sprightly self where I want to have like rosy cheeks and stuff, and then there's like my sultry self that wants to have this like beigey thing. Get real. And this actually looks ridiculous on my lips. It looks so good. I was not planning for it to, but it is so gorgeous. It's actually a sheer lipstick. The way that it has been advertised is like, oh, you know, it's this like big deal, like these bright colors, and it's like, no, when you put it on, they are really wearable. Like NARS does a really good job of making shades for everyone, so they are different per color. You know, they're not all the same saturation value or the same coverage, but this formula has a little bit of like a merit thing to it, where it's got, you can tell a little more wax in it that's like breaking the pigment up in a nice way, but it's so much creamier than the merit ones, and the colors are so much better. I'm gonna put this on because I can. Look at that. It's just like my lips. Oh, it's so beautiful, and it doesn't take over. That's the biggest thing with lipsticks for me, is they immediately take over, and this one doesn't. And I love this packaging. It's awesome. It's just, it's badass is what it is. It's very, very cool. It's all metal. It's really cool. And this one, obviously, I mean, obviously a Dries Van Noten lipstick is gonna be gorgeous. This is a quick chat because it's only one highlighter, but just in 3 colors. Hindash gets it. If you've never tried any of Hindash's products, this is the time to begin. Like, I think that this is his, I mean, besides Boy Tears, which is not back in stock, and I don't know when it will be, this is his most exciting release to date. Like, these highlighters, and I don't get excited about highlighters. These highlighters are bonkers. They're so good. So we have Liluna, Doll Dynasty, and Peak Heat, and I use all of them. I can use them on my eyes, I can use them on my cheeks. They are unbelievably gorgeous, and they have a subtlety about them that just makes your skin look like you're in, you know, a sun-kissed magazine shoot. You know, on the beach shooting for a perfume ad where like everything is like too perfected. You know, you're just like, wow, is that really human skin? Yeah, you can look like that. And you can tell in all of his like Instagrams and stuff like that, you know, all of his videos that he does. There's no trick of the eye happening there. His lighting is gorgeous, but like these products really do perform like that. They have this super subtle glow to them that is incredibly flattering. It's so smoothing. And I mean, I'm wearing it right now, and like that's what it does. Like, who doesn't want that? It's beautiful. You would never be like, oh, that's highlighter. It's like, no, that's truly what highlighter is supposed to do, is like catch the light as you turn your face. That's what highlighter is supposed to do, and he nails it. I mean, I would wear Doll Dynasty the most, you know, if I were buying them myself, but like since I do have all 3, I wear all 3. And I wear them on my eyes and on my cheeks. And they're $40 each, and you get so bonkers much amount of product. You get so much product. Finishing powders really quickly because we have a handful. I've been using my KOSAS. My KOSAS is my ride or die, obviously. But I think that the 2 that I really want to discuss here are the CL. This is the Filter and Protect. This is what I'm wearing right now. This is really good for people who also have like oily skin. I feel like it's a very flexible, it doesn't have too much oil absorption for someone like me to wear, but it does have enough oil absorption for someone like Ingrid to wear. Like, she loved it when she tried it. So this has been a really like pleasant surprise for me. And obviously it also has SPF frickin' 30 in it, which we love to see. And then I can't stop talking about this, the RMS Hydra Setting Powder. It's just really good. It's a beautiful, lightweight. I would say that it is like halfway in between the KOSAS and the Laura Mercier, the one that I love, the one that I use all the time, the pressed powder, because it's like literally invisible on the skin, but in a loose powder instead of being pressed. And if you are familiar with the old Cover FX powder that I feel like worked for everyone, that's what this is reminding me of. And their old one was straight up cornstarch. So like, if you have that in mind, get that out of your head. This is a new entire frontier for them. This is a beautiful powder. I've had like like very little actual excitement in my life lately. I think that this is the one I still lean on the most. It's what I travel with. And this is the Couture Mini Clutch from YSL in 300. It's just the right colors for me for all the time, you know? I also, when I need one, you know, when I need a nude or I need a warm, I really do reach for I need a nude and I need a warm. Like I do. And they have just enough of kind of the like polar ends of the spectrum that like I need a warm is gonna give me all the richness that I really like, and then the I need a nude is gonna give me all of the like fair that I would want. The only thing that they don't really have between the two of these is like a really good kind of like medium pinky color, and I have found that in other things. So one of them that I'm wearing right now is this freaking Too Faced. I dogged all over this when they came out with the first shade because I was like, really? You're gonna put out one shade? You're gonna be like, ooh, throw us a parade with one shade of eyeshadow. Shut up. This is the Disco Crush, and I got to swatching these in the store, and like, is this breaking new ground? No. But is it awesome? Yeah, it's really, really fun to use. It's really pretty. It's like halfway in between, I would say, like the Scattered Light from Hourglass and, you know, Space Cowboy or something like that. Like it has a little bit of that ethereal thing to it, and this is in the shade Magic Sprinkles, and I really, really like it. I just think it's very pretty. The only thing about it is I feel like it does still have a similar thing to both of those, I guess. They're all kind of like that, where they'll fall out a little bit. They'll fall out a little bit. Like you might want to use a primer with this because it does have like a little bit of the ethereal like refraction kind of thing, and so it will fall out a little. It's not creamy. And I guess I've had my expectations put up so high because of these. It's a K for Kackie, because we knew that Kackie would like them so much. It's a K for Kulfi. Again, Kulfi, I'm not on their payroll. I just am so impressed with their product, and so I love the new one, especially Sona here. This is for everyone who has, you know, unmet needs. In terms of Hindash's Boy Tears not being restocked, it's really very similar to Boy Tears, but it doesn't build up to like that full opacity the way that his did, and it's not quite as like, I don't know, it's not quite as flexible of a formula, but it's really, really beautiful, and you can build it plenty. And then I've gotten back into using Bronze Brocade as well because, and this is, you know, it's dried up a little bit because I've had it for a while, but this is one of my very best bedroomized brown colors, because for me, a bedroomized brown needs to have a good bit of warmth in it, because once it gets on my skin, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it's maybe my eyes are deep set or whatever, but like a brown will still turn kind of sooty on me, and so to have that little bit of copper in there is so flattering on me. It's so helpful. So those are like all the sparkles, and then I have two freaking eyeshadow sticks to talk about. This is so silly, but like they're special to me, okay? And they're special because of the colors. These are the Bobbi Brown Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. And the reason that this one is special is because it's cinnamon. And again, we're talking about that red brown that I need in the crease, because on me, it's gonna read as brown enough. It's gonna not have to pull gray to be cool kind of thing. It works so beautifully for like these coppery eye looks to be a tonal shadow in the crease without going all the way to like sooty brown or even like black or gray or something. And then we have Moonstone here, which is one of the only eyeshadow sticks that I have ever seen that actually pulls off a true shimmer on the eyes. It really works. Like you put that on the inner corner and it actually makes fetch happen. It makes me believe in sparkle motion. The whole thing with Top Shelf, like I always say, is that it's about the stuff that like when I go to try and put it away, I can't, because I'm just gonna pull it back out. And it surprises me sometimes, the things that tug at me. I'm like, oh, actually, yeah. The Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks, who knew? Who knew? I have one brow product to speak of, and I lost track of it until I cleaned this room, and that irritates me because I wish that they had put this in something that wasn't so easily mistaken for other things. A gold tube? I get it, Merit. If we had fewer better things, and all I had was Merit, I would know what I was looking at. But I don't, okay? I have a zillion things that look like this, and this just gets lost in the wash. Like I need to put it on a specific shelf, put a label on it so I know that this is the Merit Brow Gel, because it's excellent. They reformulated it. This color is incredible. This is taupe, and I really, really, really am super impressed by it, and I love the whole ceremony of using it. The coldness of the package and everything like that. It's great. 3 lip products that have even like impressed me lately outside of like the clear YSL candy glaze, you know, the things that I keep in my purse, which are mostly clear things. I have like the clear Thrive liquid lip balm. I have the YSL. I have the Victoria Beckham clear one. Like all my clear stuff is just like floating around my purse. These are the ones that actually have color to them-ish. Like this one really doesn't, but I still adore it. So this is the Ami Collet in Bliss, and she's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't tried this, some people said that theirs got kind of like moldy. Watch out for that. Watch out for that because it's like a clean product and so it doesn't have as much in the way of preservatives, but mine haven't done that yet. But they're lovely. They kind of, I think they smell like vanilla. Yeah, it's really, really nice stuff. And it is supposed to be an actual like nourishing oil, but it definitely is also like cosmetically beautiful lip gloss. Then I have this, which I bought on such a fluke. It was just new on Sephora or whatever, and I picked this color because it looked, again, like that weird in-between color that I like so much. This is Diorette in the new, I don't know if it's new, Dior Addict lipstick. Again, we're talking about that funky, weird tomato color. This one's a little more tomatoey than the others, and it's so flattering. It's so pretty. I love this so much, and what a great like balm formula too. It has a scent, but it's a little bit fruity. It kind of reminds me more of like the candy glaze than like a typical Dior smell. It's very pleasant, I think, and I just am super impressed with this. It's like a very nourishing balm with a very beautiful, like all the colors are really interesting, and I love when colors are interesting. And I really think that it's a lot of the big brands that can afford to do interesting colors right now, and that's unfortunate. I guess it's like all the way to the other end of the spectrum. There's like the indie brands, but like all the ones in the middle right now are just doing the most boring colors ever. So in the same vein, people get mad at me every time I wear this. Every single time I wear this on camera, everybody's like, what is that? Oh my God. And then they look in the description box and they're like, really, Kackie? A $75 lip balm? Yep, I am who I am. They didn't send it to me. This is all my problem, not yours, but this is, oh, Hermes. Oh my God, it's like a dreamsicle. It's so pretty. This is the Rouge Hermes in Brilliant Poppy, I think is what it's called. There's a lot of French in there, but either way, I mean, obviously the entire experience is super lovely. But this color, like, you'll know I've gone either towards lavender lilac or towards like coral and orange. And when I want to really push it in the way of orange, this is so awesome. It really gets the job done. It's just juicy. It's incredible. I don't wear it all the time, obviously, but like it's such a treat when the time comes. So I believe that is it, y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. And if you haven't already, definitely go get a head start on your holiday shopping with OSEA. You can use my link down below, use my code, get yourself a little bit of extra money off. And thank you to OSEA for sponsoring a portion of today's video. If you're new here, I would love it if you'd subscribe. If you want to keep watching, I will put a video up here that I think that you will enjoy if you liked this one. Thank y'all for being here. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.